Hi everyone! The Path of Exile 3.27 is around the corner, so I want to share with you guys my build I played in 3.26 that has been buffed, and a great league start in 3.27. The Boneshatter Berserker. Boneshatter is a melee skill that creates a buff of trauma each time you hit enemy. Each stack of trauma gives us more damage multiplier and a fixed amount of reflective physical hit damage. This buff lasts for 6 seconds and can be increased with an increased duration modifier. Another effect of the skill is to create a damaging pulse when we stun an enemy. Therefore, this build will excel in offense, defense, and clearing abilities. This skill mainly pairs with Juggernaut Ascendancy for tankiness, Slayer Ascendancy for optimal balance between damage and defense, or Berserker Ascendancy for extreme damage. And with patch 3.27, the skill itself got a buff in trauma stack from 4% to 6% more damage per stack, and can be a maximum of 7% with 20% gem quality. Now this is a Berserker Boneshatter build. You'll need solid defensive mechanics to make it viable late game, as the Berserker Ascendancy mainly focuses on offense. We'll use a Divine Shield Keystone. The Keystone will make Energy Shield regenerates 3% of the physical damage prevented by armor from trauma stacks. That way, you get regeneration close to what Untiring gives in Juggernaut, but for Energy Shield. For Life Sustain, we rely on damage taken recouped as life and leeching, especially useful if Energy Shield drops. We got a lot of armor from our gear and determination for extra defense. Also 6 endurance charge generate when hit thanks to inexorable node. For offense, we're Berserker, so rage is our main buff alongside trauma. Point-wise, we have a total of 58 rage, which gives 58% more damage and 58% increased attack speed. And with Rite of Ruin bumps both your damage and attack speed up to 87%. We also gain 3 frenzy charges from Poacher's Mark, along with Onslaught from our chest piece for extra speed and mobility. In patch 3.27, the Wild Bear node from Oshabi's Bloodline gives you plus 10 max rage and activates Adrenaline once you hit full rage. Since Berserker builds gain rage fast, the buff is basically permanent. The skill setup uses Boneshatter linked with Ruthless, Brutality, Close Combat, Faster Attacks, and Impale. Ruthless is essential, as it guarantees a stun on every third hit, enabling Boneshatter to consistently trigger shockwaves for better clearing. For mobility, Leap Slam with faster attacks gives a solid movement and quick repositioning. Our aura setup includes Determination for armor, Flesh and Stone and Blood stands for more damage, Vitality for regeneration, and Arctic armor for defense when standing still. For utility, Molten Shell provides a strong defensive layer, acting as a temporary shield during high damage moments. Poacher's Mark provides frenzy charges for increased speed and damage. War Banner provides a temporary damage boost during boss fights. Here, we use Purifying Flame linked with cast when damage taken, increased area of effect, and Culling Strike. As we take hits from trauma, it triggers cast when damage taken, causing Purifying Flame to be cast repeatedly. This setup allows us to cover a large area with consecrated ground. Also with Culling Strike support, we automatically finish off enemies when they drop below 10% life. With the new skill Somatic Shell introduced in 3.27, it could replace increased area of effect support for a more experimental clear setup. We'll have to see how it performs. For the remaining gem slot, you can either use a Warcry for utility or reserve it for leveling other gems. For our weapon, we use a two-handed axe to maximize physical damage and attack speed. We're using a Despot Axe. It's got the top tier base damage and the best attack speed for two-handed axes. We prioritize triple physical damage prefixes and high attack speed on the weapon, as the build uses Resolute Technique to bypass accuracy while running mid-tier maps. Just harvest reforge any axe with speed to get something usable. When you hit tier 16, that's when you follow the proper crafting steps for a strong endgame weapon. The helmet slot is primarily for defense, so look for one with high life, armor, or energy shield, and strong resistances. To craft a strong defensive helmet, we use Harvest Reforge Life for targeted life rolls, or apply a Deafening Essence of Greed to guarantee a high flat life modifier. For the helmet's implicit, You can go with options like this or pick increase attack damage or reduce mana cost, depending on what you want. For the body armor, use Essence of Insanity to guarantee the onslaught on hit modifier. This boosts your clear speed and mobility significantly. Since trauma damage counts as hit damage, we'll have permanent onslaught uptime from the onslaught on hit mod. After securing onslaught with acceptable suffixes, the next step is to craft suffixes cannot be changed to safely reroll the prefixes. Each use of suffixes cannot be changed costs 2 divine orbs, so be cautious. It can get expensive quickly. The final step is using Harvest, Reforge Offense to target Tier 1 added armor and energy shield on the body armor. After that, use the crafting bench to add increased armor and energy shield as a final touch to boost your defenses. Since this piece won't have any life modifiers, we can allocate the 15% increased maximum life on the passive skill tree. For the implicit modifiers, we'll aim for damage recouped as life and increase determination aura effect to further scale our armor and survivability. Gloves are crafted using a deafening essence of zeal to ensure a high tier attack speed modifier. Aside from guaranteed attack speed from the essence, prioritize additional stats like flat life, elemental resistances, and defensive bonuses such as armor or evasion to strengthen your overall durability. The ideal glove implicits are increased attack speed for smoother skill execution and chance to impale, which synergizes perfectly with physical builds to amplify damage through repeated hits. In some cases, players choose the implicit non-ball strike skills target one additional nearby enemy, instead of increased attack speed, as it greatly improves clear speed for strike-based skills like Boneshatter or Heavy Strike by allowing them to hit multiple enemies. Personally, I prefer attack speed. So, if you happen to roll the non-ball strike skills target one additional nearby enemy implicit before getting attack speed, don't re-roll it. You can take the attack mastery that grants 5% increased attack speed per enemy in close range. This provides similar value and works well for both mapping and bossing. Since Leap Slam handles our mobility, movement speed on boots isn't necessary. This frees up room to focus on defensive stats like life, resistances, and armor. All that left is benchcraft cannot be chilled. It helps maintain mobility and prevents slowdowns during combat. The ideal Eldritch implicits on boots are increased action speed, which improves overall responsiveness and skill fluidity, and increased armor for better physical damage mitigation. The amulet slot is ideal for meeting attribute requirements, so try to stack as many needed attributes, like strength, dexterity, and intelligence, as possible here. Make sure to keep one prefix slot available on the amulet. This allows you to benchcraft the non-channeling skills have -7 to total mana cost mod, which is essential for sustaining attacks without running out of mana. During mid-game progression, Anointing Infused Flesh is a great choice for improving life recovery. It provides solid sustain while mapping and bossing, especially before you roll damage recouped as life on your body armor implicits. Later on, we switch to exceptional performance to increase trauma duration, allowing us to build up a higher stack count for more damage. Rings are the most flexible gear slot for balancing elemental resistances and stacking attributes like strength, dexterity, or intelligence, making them essential for meeting new tier gear requirements. Same as the amulet, it's important to reserve an open prefix on your rings. Because our build doesn't rely on critical strikes, the Magnate Belt is an excellent alternative. It offers a chance to deal double damage, and when you meet the strength requirement, it also grants a chance to deal triple damage, making it a powerful and budget-friendly DPS boost. With our strong recovery mechanics, like Recoup and Leech, this build doesn't rely on life flasks. That frees up a flask slot for more utility options. We focus entirely on utility flasks that boost armor and max resistances. By crafting modifiers like regenerate life per second during effect and damage taken from hit is leached during effect, we maintain solid recovery while gaining powerful defensive benefits, making the setup both tanky and efficient. Our main Ascendancy is Berserker. The first notable will be Crave the Slaughter, grants rage generation and bonus attack speed per rage, which greatly boosts our clear speed and responsiveness. Next, we take Rite of Ruin, which supercharges our rage by doubling its bonuses and adding even more attack speed and damage. although it causes life loss over time. This drawback is manageable by using the Vitality Aura. Next, we take Aspect of Carnage. It's a straightforward powerhouse. 40% more damage across the board. No frills, just raw output. The fourth Ascendancy is Defy Pain. It offers decent defensive value, acting like a mini version of the Defiance of Destiny Amulet by converting damage taken into life before hit. For patch 3.27, I plan to swap out Defy Pain for the Wild Bear node from Oshabi's Bloodline. It offers a stronger mix of offensive power and physical damage mitigation, making it a great upgrade for both survivability and DPS. For passive tree, an endgame will look like this. In our Pantheon setup, we choose Soul of Aracali as the major god because damage over time, particularly Chaos Dots, can severely disrupt our recovery. Aracali's bonuses improve life and energy shield recovery when affected by dots, giving us a reliable way to stay alive even in prolonged fights or degenerate ground effects. For the minor Pantheon, I chose Soul of Ralakesh to help mitigate bleed damage while moving and reduce the impact of corrupted blood, especially useful during mapping. That's all there is to the build. Even though I played this build in Trade League, I've also run a similar setup on a Juggernaut in solo self-found during the Necropolis League. You guys can check out in my uploaded video. So it's definitely viable for a Berserker in SFF2. Hope this video was useful. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and leave a comment below. See you guys in Path of Exile, Keeper of the Flames.